It's 5 o'clock.
Blog Talk Radio.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Wednesday, February 17th, 2016, and welcome to the BCS Experience. History, arts, culture, politics in review and discussion. I'm Byron C. Saunders, your host with the most. The BCS Experience takes a look at our rich history, African American history. We're going to share with you some known and unknown historical facts and information from the past and connect the dots on how they have impacted on our present day events and how they will definitely shape our future as African Americans in this country and around the world. The BCS Experience, history, arts, culture, politics, in review and discussion. This is Internet Radio and will be aired live every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. from the studios of the Iron Metropolis Images on the GoPro Radio Network. You see, I'm really excited about this opportunity to talk to you all across the country and around the globe. I want you to tune in every week on your computer or your phone, and I want you to become a loyal listener. And I personally invite you to lend your voices to this radio talk show to express your opinions on my weekly topics. This is social network radio at its finest. Now, here's the number for you to call in to be a part of tonight's discussion. Call 347-884-9839. Once again, that number to call is 347-884-9839. All right, this week's topic, Black Boxing Champions. The sweet science of the squared circle. African American heroes who carried the weight of an entire nation into the ring as extraordinary athletes, but had to fight and compete for more than just a championship belt. Their fight was for civil rights, equality, and freedom from oppression. We salute them and their historical efforts along the Freedom Trail. All right, my show is the new Underground Railroad Express. Next stop is your neighborhood. All aboard to freedom and to freedom land. All right, before we get started, a little bit of history so we can put all of this into context. All right, the date. It's a Tuesday. It's May the 3rd. The year is 1921, and Sugar Ray Robinson is born.
If someone was able to ask God to mold the greatest prize fighter that you can possibly mold, it would be Sugar Ray Robinson.
When you look at Muhammad Ali, you're looking at Sugar Ray. I mean, it was almost an identical picture the way he boxed and Sugar Ray boxed.
Sugar Ray was somewhat of a mystery. He was very guarded. He didn't take people into his confidence.
Wow. Sugar Ray Robinson was born on that date in 1921. Now, he was an African-American professional boxer, 6 times a world champion, once as a welterweight, from 1946 to 1951 and 5 times as a middleweight between 1951 and 1960. He is considered by many authorities to have been the best fighter in history. Walker Smith Jr., also known as Sugar Ray Robinson, was from Alley, Georgia. Now, he won 89 amateur fights without a defeat, fighting first under his own name and then as Ray Robinson, using the amateur certificate of another boxer of that name in order to qualify for a bout. He won Golden Gloves title as a featherweight in 1939 and as a lightweight in 1940. Robinson won 40 consecutive professional fights before losing to Jake LaMotta in one of their 6 battles. Now, on December the 20th, 1946, he won the welterweight championship by defeating Tommy Bell in a 15-round decision. Robinson resigned his welterweight title when he won the middleweight championship by a 13-round knockout of LaMotta on February 14th, 1951. He lost the 160-pound title to Randy Turpin of England in 1951 and regained it from Turpin later that year. In 1952, he narrowly missed defeating Joey Maxim for the light heavyweight 175-pound crown and a few months later retired. Robinson returned to the ring in 1954. He recaptured the middleweight title from Carl Bobo Olsen in 1955, lost it to and regained it from Gene Fulmer in 1957 and yielded it to Carmen Basilio later that year. I saw both of those fights. Wow. He won for the last time the 160-pound championship by defeating Basilio in a savage fight in 1958. Paul Pender defeated Robinson to win the title on January 22nd, 1960, and won their return fight. Robinson continued to fight until late 1965, and when he was 45 years old. In 201 professional bouts, he had won 109 knockouts. He suffered only 19 defeats, most of them when he was way past 40. His outstanding ability and flamboyant personality made him a hero of boxing fans throughout the world. In retirement, he appeared on television and in motion pictures. He formed a youth foundation in 1969. Sugar Ray Robinson died April the 12th, 1989 in Culver City, Los Angeles, California. Oh my goodness, what a special athlete and certainly an icon in the African American community. All right, I want to hear from you. Let's connect the dots, make some sense out of all of this, and let's talk. Call me, 347-884-9839. All right, tonight, oh my goodness, I have very special guests that are joining us. Joining us in the GoPro studio are my very dear friends and featured call-in guests this evening. 3 extraordinary, talented, and iconic individuals from the entertainment industry. First and foremost, Lawrence Holder. He's a playwright. Then we have Reginald Wilson. He's an Adelco-winning, award-winning actor, and Woody King Jr., producer and director of the new dinner theater production opening next week here in New York City entitled Sugar Ray, the Sugar Ray Robinson story. Okay, well, that's the story on tonight's BCS Experience. All right, let's get started. All right, in this corner, we got Lawrence Holder. Now, if you don't know who Lawrence Holder is, listen to this bio. This is like who's who of theatrical entertainment industry. Writing his first play, Open, in 1969 earned him writing instructor for New Federal Theater. And in 1974, he wrote and produced Bird of Paradise, which was directed by Jackie Berger. In 1976, Ornette Coleman directed and filmed it. Juba, the dance musical directed by John Vaccaro. And in 1978, at Ellen Stewart's La Mama Theater. When the Chickens Come Home to Roost, featuring Kirk Kirksey as Elijah Muhammad and Denzel Washington in his first incarnation of Malcolm X and Zora, featuring Felicia Rashad, followed in 1981, produced by Woody King Jr.'s New Federal, directed by Ali Woods, and the bill earned, check this out, 7 Adolco Awards, including his first for writing. Numerous Adolco nominations following: The Man, starring Kirk Kirksey; Woman, starring Judy Thames, both directed by Yvonne Sutherland; Hot Fingers, starring Bruce Strickland, directed by Glenn Weiss; moving to Phoenix temporarily, the Black Theater Troupe produced his Scott Joplin, and returning to New York in 1989 and through the 90s, Crystal Field. I mean, Lawrence, what did you not write in Black Theater? You are the man. Well, welcome to the BCS Experience, Lawrence.
Thank you very, very much for having me. I appreciate that.
So, Lawrence, talk to me. Tell us about your theatrical story of Sugar Ray Robinson.
Well, it really is a rather long story because somewhere back in the 80s, Woody King mentioned to me the fact that, hey, you know, we need a story, a screenplay about Sugar Ray Robinson. And in fact, I wrote a screenplay, and Woody carried it around, but we never could get the money off the ground for it, so it didn't happen. Then somewhere around the turn of the century, 2000, I decided to convert it to a one-man play, and did. And it's lain fallow low these many years until Woody called me up and said, listen, we have an opportunity to work at the Harlem Besame, which is on Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard on 123rd Street, and it's the site of Sugar Ray's Enterprises.
Wow.
His restaurant, his cleaning store, the whole thing. And I said, well, this is absolutely amazing. So he called me. I said, fine. The producer called me. Reginald called me. We said, yeah, let's do it. And, in fact, that's where we are presently, a week or so, 10 days or so away from opening.
Well, this is a marriage made in heaven. I'm telling you, theater heaven. Now, Lawrence, what period of Sugar Ray's life do you focus your story?
Well, we focus our story basically on his beginnings, where he comes from, the church element in his life, his mother, and then we move gradually into the thing that absorbed the remainder of his life, which was boxing. And we take his story right on through his reclaiming the middleweight championship, that final year there before the rest of the world caved in on him and age caught up to him and the like.
Right. Like most boxers, it's a timeline that they have, and we see the decline.
Well, I think that's what professional athletes in general face. You know,
Absolutely.
There is a limit to the extent to which they can do.
Right, exactly.
We were just looking at Michael Jackson's story that Spike Lee put together, a brilliant film.
It's amazing.
Spike
It really
Lee is
is.
no longer on my shit list. Spike Lee is a genius. He put together a brilliant film on Michael Jackson.
Yes, he did. I've watched it a couple of times, and you're right. I mean,
Yeah, it's a
oh my
brilliant
gosh,
piece of
it
work.
really is. It really is. And I mean, I've seen
And
some
yet
of the.
we watching an athlete
Yes.
in his way as a dancer and a singer and a
Yes.
composer and a producer and the like, and we watched him burn out.
Yes, that's right. We certainly did. And
He could not sleep. My wife pointed it out to me, and very adroitly, I might add. He could not sleep. He took sleeping pills, and he was gone.
Right, that's right. OxyContin and sleeping pills, and that's what
Yeah.
happened. It's a sad tragedy.
So this is what happens.
Yes.
You know, the creative artist has moments, you know, sometimes they last for 50, 60, 70 years, but sooner or later, you know, the well runs dry. It gets too low. You know, the fire and the fever is no longer there.
You're
But,
absolutely
you know, you're
right.
entering other parts of your life when that occurs. So.
Well, we're getting ready to take a break. There's the bell ringing in round one.
All right.
and we'll
Is
when
that
we
right on time?
how about that? Now, when we come back, we're going to go to round two. We're going to get ready to rumble, y'all, because right here we're going to have Woody King Jr. tell us about the direction of this piece and as a producer, what it takes. So, folks, I mean, we got a hot show for you today. You're listening to the BCS Experience on the GoPro Radio Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these very important messages.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head. What if you can have an entire team of skilled professionals to help your business grow? Admin, accounts, marketing, and more, but only pay for the exact amount of support you need at virtually the same cost you'd pay for one full-time employee. With Virtual Professions, you can. One contact, one number gets you a team of virtual professionals for exactly what your business needs. It's 1-888-315-VPRO. That's 1-888-315-8776. Or online at www.virtualprofessions.net. Virtual Professions Incorporated, because you mean business.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
All right, already. We're back on the BCS Experience. Oh, I'm ready for this, but are you ready for this? Okay, this is my favorite part of the show, Reggie. I'm going to let you speak in a few minutes, but this is where I get to do my thing. This is my 5th anniversary being on the GoPro Radio Network. And literally, this might be the very day I started 5 years ago. But let's make it clear what listener-sponsored radio is really all about. It's you, the sponsor. You're the listener. You help to keep this show alive. You help to keep my show, the BCS Experience, on air every month and for 5 years. Now, here's how you can make history of your own and be a part of the history of my show, the BCS Experience. When you go to GoProRadio.com, all you got to do is click on that button that says donation. And that's where you come on board. Show some love. Show me some love. $5. Make a donation of $5 for my 5th anniversary. But if you're really feeling generous, make a donation of $15. And for $15, you get this very special book. It's entitled Ministry Begins After the Fall. Now, why is this an important book? Because every last Wednesday of each month, I feature as a feature on my show, Reverend Dr. DLC Boyce, where we give you a chance to get free clinical psychotherapy and help to overcome your stumbling blocks right here on the BCS Experience. She wrote this book for $15. I can get you a copy of this that's autographed and something to help you out to overcome your stumbling blocks. Now, if you're really feeling generous, this is Black History Month, and that's how we keep Black history alive. I need you to consider making that donation of $100 so that you can get your very own personal gift of Disappearing Voices, The Decline of Black Radio, written and produced by Tylon Xavier Washington, my producer. And you get a t-shirt, a wonderful t-shirt, and this to go into your library, talking about why is it important to keep Black radio alive. And the GoPro Radio Network, folks, is the fastest growing network in the galaxy. So, on behalf of all of those who are my loyal listeners and supporters, thank you for showing me that love and making that donation. All right? Ring my bell. There you go. Come on now. Ring the bell. All right. Let's get on back to the BCS Experience. Because tonight in this corner, I've got none other than the great producer, icon, theater himself, the king of Black theater producers, none other than Woody King Jr. Now, if you don't know who Woody King Jr. is, I don't know where you been. Where you been hiding? Okay, Woody King Jr. is, as it says, the king of Black theater producers, as American Visions did in its April 2000 issue. It's not much of an exaggeration. And through his 30-plus years as the executive director of the New Federal Theater, and through his work as a writer, director, and producer of a wide assortment of plays, essays, films, and anthologies, Woody King has contributed as much as perhaps any individual to the survival and growth of theater by, for, and about African Americans. Now, King Jr., did you know this? He was born in Mobile, Alabama. Oh my gosh, in July 27, 1937. I'm going to give all your information away, Woody. And at the age of 5, he moved with his parents, Woody Sr. and Ruby Johnson King, to Detroit, where he spent the rest of his youth. By the time he was 11 or 12 years old, King was supplementing his family's income with consisted primarily of Ruby's household wages by modeling for church fans and calendars. Woody, I didn't know you were on church fans and calendars too. Oh my God. So, see, people don't know this about you, Woody. Anyway, Woody King Jr., welcome to the BCS Experience. Come on, Woody, talk to me. Tell me your involvement as a producer and director of this production and the idea of making this a dinner theater production.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, you're getting the premier broadcast, giving your audience information on Sugar Ray really before anybody else. This is the first time me, Reggie, and Lawrence have been on any kind of together on radio. Lawrence and I did WBLS, but
heard, yes.
That was a short-lived thing, short thing. I am just so pleased that Byron, you and GoPro Radio Network said, "Hey Reggie, come on, man, come on, you all come on and talk." And that's what we want to do. Just tell you about the site-specific solo show, and it stars the great, my friend, Adelco winner Reginald L. Wilson, who you know and you're going to talk to.
Yes.
He's going to talk to him as Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
But the play is going to be presented at the New Harlem Besame, and that is the site of Sugar Ray Robinson's enterprises, which nothing could be better.
Right.
Nothing could be better. And it all came about while Reggie had brought me in because we had been talking about doing something together, and we're sitting there, and I'm looking at the wall and the photographs of Sugar Ray and all these photographs. And I said, Reggie, how would you like to play Sugar Ray? I got a friend who he might have a screenplay, and he could adapt it. And it was Lawrence Holder. And Lawrence said, Woody, I adapted it already. And it was like a fait accompli, really.
Right.
And so we all got together, and Reggie and his producer, Bernardi Ruby, said, let's do it. And so then we got into how do we make this a piece that's done in dinner theater, right?
Yes.
So here's what happened, Byron. I went back and looked at film clips of Sugar Ray after certain fights, coming to the restaurant, greeting people, hugging people, getting his photograph taken with women, serving drinks, and wow, I said, this is amazing. And one thing, he was pouring some coffee, and that stayed with me all these years, And I said, wow, this is, if I can get an actor who could do that, because that was going to be done in the movie, that Lawrence wrote. That was all there. And so I said, wait a minute. We can do this in this section of the restaurant. Because that's what Reggie does, part-time.
Yes.
When he's out acting.
Yes.
He is working in the restaurant. And I watch him. Sometimes he'll set up chairs. Sometimes he'll DJ. Sometimes, I said, wait a minute. Let's go back now. Let's go back to the 50s.
Right.
Okay? Sugar Ray would go to put some money in the jukebox, a nickel or a quarter, whatever it was back then. The music would come on. He would go over and sit with Frank Sinatra. He would go over and sit with Nat King Cole and Sammy Davis. This is after he was a celebrity, And
exactly.
So by him coming and people see his Cadillac parked outside, I said, wow, we can recreate this. Lawrence has given us all the ammunition, and with Reggie, Reggie will tell you, man, I just love his work. So he just makes it look so easy. So the bottom line is, how can you get your listeners to buy tickets so these kind of things can happen at Harlem Besame?
There we go.
They got to know this. Okay, I'm going to go to Smart Ticks.
That's
I'm
right. Come
order
on now.
some tickets. I'm going to call 212-868-4444.
There you go.
And I'm going to call them, and I'm going to get tickets. I can pay by credit card. I can pay whatever. And you mean I can bring my lady or bring my male friend I can bring him and we can sit there and see a play, have dinner afterwards. And I mean, this food is great.
It is indeed. I've eaten there too.
I even go there and eat afterwards. I go there in the evening and sit down and say, wow, this is all this is uptown, Byron.
That's
this
right.
This is Harlem.
That's right.
So now, how did I get involved in a love of Sugar Ray Robinson? We only had heroes, African-American heroes. We only had Jackie Robinson. We only had Joe Louis. We only had Sugar Ray Robinson. Our entertainers was the young Sammy Davis, the young Sidney Poitier. We didn't have anything. There was no television. We were not on television. We didn't have that. So we had to read Jet Magazine, Amsterdam News, Michigan Chronicle, and these was charismatic heroes. If you look at photographs of Sugar Ray and Joe Louis and Jackie Robinson just standing together, these guys was fashionable plates. You had to be in fashion. Who else could wear a red suit?
And a pink Cadillac. Come on now.
Sugar Ray could wear a red suit.
That's right.
He could wear a silk suit. And you say, oh, man, this guy is doing all this fight. He is handsome. He is pretty. He is sugar.
He's sugar.
He is brown sugar.
That's right. That's right.
So, yes, we were watching those fights. We were watching the Jake LaMotta. Because they'd be shown in the movies. They were shown. There was no television.
That's right.
And Gillette would show them. We'd go and see Outlaw Cassidy as a movie, Roy Rogers, and then the sports would come on. And you would see the fight with Sugar Ray.
That's right.
The fight with Joe Louis, knocking out Billy Conn, or gathering around the radio. To hear the fight in the barbershop. So this is really why I got into the American theater.
All right, so Woody.
Because our stories need to be told.
So Woody, let's sell some tickets now. Where do you get this?
Let's sell some tickets.
Come on now. Where do I get my tickets for this show?
You go to Smart Tick.
Okay.
And the phone number is 212-868-4444, or you can go online, www.smarttick.com.
Okay.
www.smartticks.com. And I think I can almost guarantee you it's going to be a smash.
It is indeed. Yes. And one other thing is because it's uptown, it's in Harlem, I believe the spirits of the ancestors are working through you guys. Come on now. You're in his place. You're in Sugar Ray's home base. And you're bringing his story back to life after all these years. What more can you ask for? I mean, that is something extraordinary.
This is Black history.
That's right.
This is African American history.
Yes, sir.
And Lawrence is a master. And I know you say, well, I haven't made a lot of money, but he's a master at recreating African American historical characters.
Exactly.
From Max Roach to Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela to Malcolm X to Zora Neale Hurston. You could just go on and on and on to all these
Monk even. I mean, everybody's seen
Monk and Bud.
And Bud, that's right. So, I mean, you've got a combination here that is absolutely a phenomenal talent team that you guys are a part of, and bringing Black history back to the historical site of itself where Sugar Ray's Enterprises exist. Now, I got to take another break here, guys, coming up.
Okay, but before you take the break,
yes, sir.
You got to know that Reginald Wilson is not only an actor, he's an educator.
Yes, he is. That's
one
right.
One of the few actors I know working in this business who has worked on his PhD.
That's right. There you go. Well,
so anyway, you go ahead.
We got another caller on the line, so don't go away, caller, because when we come back, we're going to go into round 3 with the Sugar Ray himself, Reginald Wilson, the actor, the talent, the amazing bartender at Besame, concierge services. What else do you do, Reggie? Hold that thought. Folks, we'll be right back after these very important messages on the BCS Experience, where you get a chance to get more of our history. We'll be right back.
Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
We are an amazing people, rooted in Africa, the cradle of human civilization. Descendant of the awesome men and women who made a way out of no way. People steeped in the values of truth, justice, respect, harmony, balance, reciprocity, and order. But 400 years of enslavement, Jim Crow, and racism, fueled by the lie of black inferiority, have taken their toll. The result? Too much pain, too much hurt, too much loss. We owe our ancestors, ourselves, and our children so much more than this. Join the movement for emotional emancipation, healing, and wellness for Black people. Go to communityhealingnet.org and take the pledge to defy the lie and embrace the truth. That's communityhealingnet.org. Our children and our ancestors are waiting.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
All right, already, we're back. We're getting ready to meet the star of Sugar Ray Robinson right here on the BCS Experience. So come on now. Let's get ready to rumble! All right. Reginald L. Wilson, MFA, Master of Fine Arts, from the University of Florida. He's a proud member of Actors Equity. He received his MFA, and I might add, my brother was your instructor, Dr. Mikkel Pinkney, the one and only. And you arrived in New York City in January of 2011, and ever since then, you have kind of been turning the tables up in this city. You were intern with Woody King Jr. at the New Federal Theater. Your stage credits in New York include Leon, Graves, Black Angels over Tuskegee. So you were one of those Tuskegee era guys?
Yes.
You were in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Twisted, Blues for Mr. Charlie, Haiti's Children of God, The Whistle in Mississippi, and The Meeting, playing Martin Luther King Jr. But you got your Adulco Award winning as Best Lead Actor in 2012 for your portrayal of Levy in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So your catalog of work here in this city has been quite amazing, and now you get a chance to play the iconic Sugar Ray Robinson himself, Reggie L. Wilson. Welcome to the BCS Experience, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right, indeed. So come on, Reggie, tell me. You're the kind of actor, and I've seen your work. You're brilliant. You really are. I look forward to one day maybe being able to work with you on stage. But tell me the research process of engaging and indulging you as an actor to become Sugar Ray Robinson.
Well, as Woody stated before we went to the commercial break, I'm an educator. And so the history and the research was very, very important to me. And when the project was presented to me by Woody and Mr. Ruby, the first thing I did was went straight to the books, find out everything we can about Sugar Ray Robinson.
Right.
Look at all the videos, watch all the movements, look at all of his counterparts, look at all of his friends, his family. Find out as much information as you possibly can. What ended up happening was, in the process of looking for all of the information was being poured to me.
Yes.
Karima, who was our production stage manager,
right.
Every single day, she's sending different newspaper clippings and different YouTube videos and just different things so that I can always learn each and every day more and more about Sugar Ray Robinson. And in the restaurant, being at New Harlem Besame, I try to stop by every day, whether I'm in rehearsal or if I'm just, passing through. And it's remarkable the amount of people that comes through the restaurant and they remember Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yes.
I mean, we've had people who come through and they tell us that they used to shine his shoes, or they sold him Jet magazines back in the day. And so the buzz immediately hit the streets of Harlem, especially right there on that corner.
Yes.
Every time we mention Sugar Ray Robinson, everyone wants to come in and they wants to share their story with them. Mm-hmm. So from that, I was able to pick up that Sugar Ray was a people's person.
Right.
And that's very, very, very important. So, I try to engage and, just have as much fun as I possibly can until the show actually happens, which is in a week.
That's right, 1 week's time.
Yes.
And Woody, he promised me he's going to be off book on Saturday.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry, okay?
He's probably off book already. We're just fascinated. We're so fascinated. We say, whoa. Because I always say to an actor, look, man, get comfortable, get your moves in, and then get off book.
Now, Reggie, what have you found out about Sugar Ray that you didn't know about? Because, a lot has been written, but, you're working in his aura. And what have you discovered that kind of like in a dream, perhaps, it was laid hands on you. He came and visited you,
Well, that's a very funny question because everything in this process is new to me when it comes to Sugar Ray Robinson because, I knew of Sugar Ray Robinson. I've known all the stories, but all the intricate details that Lawrence Holder has put into the play is fascinating. So, like, when you say, what things do I dream about? It's not only dreaming about them, it's when I'm watching a documentary or if I'm watching a little clip, if I'm reading something, and everything that Lawrence wrote in the play is so true to Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that Lawrence really went into all of the research aspects of Sugar Ray, and he made sure that no rock was left unturned. Everything was there.
Now, Lawrence and Woody, here's what's interesting to me is because you and me, Woody, and Lawrence, we are of a certain age. We remember Dan Dunphy. We remember Gillette. We remember watching Sugar Ray Robinson on TV back in the 50s when, TV was just black and white.
Right.
So, Lawrence and Woody, you remember Sugar Ray probably as best as anybody, and you got this young talent. Are you feeding him more from what you remember as much as the story you've written, Lawrence, and as much as you remember, Woody?
I think that, if I'm allowed to answer that one, I think that Woody's interaction with Reginald is a one-of-a-kind relationship. And it's as though Reginald sometimes intuits things that Woody is thinking, and then if he does in fact go astray, Woody is able to steer him in a very short amount of time.
Right.
And occasionally I'm there to chip in a word or two, which then gives it another emphasis that makes it more clear to Reginald, who I think is doing a stunning job. And I can't wait to Saturday morning.
All right. Excellent.
Okay.
Now, Woody, go ahead.
What I'm always amazed at, Byron, we've been in theater a long time. I met you in Atlanta when you were running the theater.
Yes, sir.
And what we do is highlight the victories and the highlights of our people. We want to show what we have come through and where we are now, and how people will obliterate our history if we let them.
That's right.
People will not do Malcolm X unless Lawrence Holder writes it and puts it out there. They will not invent a Zordia Hurston unless it's brought out there visibly. They will not acknowledge Sugar Ray as really the king of Harlem. What can we say?
That's right.
He had a business enterprise in Harlem when no other athlete had that.
Right.
These were thriving businesses.
He was so large that, and I'm surprised no one's mentioned it yet, that he had the first pink flamingo Cadillac.
That's right. Exactly. Amazing.
And he has posed many times in front of that. I can see another paper that we used to look at in those days was Pittsburgh Courier.
Yes, that's right.
And they would also feature, along with the Amsterdam News, feature, photos of Sugar and in front of his store. And through additional research, and thanks to Karima, as Reginald has just pointed out, we found out that he got the name Sugar say sugar. So they didn't have the original Sugar Ray, and the fact that he had 200 and some odd fights, as opposed to the 30 or 40 that guys sometimes have nowadays, should really attest to the stamina, the steel, and the acumen that this particular fighter had, because he fought LaMotta six times. He fought Torrance Basilio and Don Fulmer, and all of those, Eugene Fulmer, all of those guys were manglers.
That's right.
There was blood flying everywhere, and he fought them all, many times, more than once.
That's right.
And I think we should point out the unbelievable resemblance of Reggie to Sugar Ray.
Exactly. I was going to get to that.
There is a resemblance. People take a look at the flyers that
I'm telling you.
Put out there, you could see. And he gets closer and closer every day. He's definitely transforming.
Yes, and he's got that mustache already down. So I mean, I'm looking at him as we speak. But gentlemen, I'm gonna take this opportunity because I got some history I got to share with you. But I'm skipping around on my script because I got something I want to show the folks, because we are doing live streaming. I'm gonna move ahead to the piece that I pulled out. I've got a couple pieces on Sugar Ray. It's about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So those who didn't know who he was and how he fought, I want y'all to look at this next segment. It's Reputation, Sugar Ray Robinson documentary, and it's a piece where he is in action, and I mean, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You know where Muhammad Ali got his stuff, okay? Roll that tape now.
Chicago, 14th of February, 1951. The sixth encounter between Robinson and LaMotta. To defeat the Bronx Bull, Robinson decides to play the matador, keeping his distance, flicking quick jabs to keep the beast at bay. LaMotta, who has never been fast on his feet, is slower than ever. When Robinson picks up the pace, the bull struggles to keep up. Robinson targets the liver. LaMotta is hurt, his legs rooted to the canvas. Now Robinson begins to dance, punctuating his steps with left hooks to LaMotta's face and throwing lethal combination punches. Round 11, LaMotta has soaked up a lot of punishment, but now he counterattacks with a flurry of punches. But Robinson weathers the storm and is soon playing the matador once more. They called it the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and it was Robinson who inflicted most of the damage.
Wow. I mean, folks, when you see this, and Woody and Lawrence, I don't know about Reggie, how you feel about the character, but the pride that Sugar Ray gave us at a time when we were catching hell in America. So, especially from white folks. Now, all of our enthusiasm for a champion who could go in and kick some No, I mean, let's just be real. It's just be real, because that's what it meant to us.
One of the things that we love was the fact that they called them world champions.
That's right, yes. So,
and all of a sudden, you know, our outreach through them became worldwide.
Exactly.
And we owe a great deal to them. Yes, there are some other guys, other entertainers I was thinking, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, Art Tatum,
Louis Armstrong,
Count Basie. You know, those are people that we looked up to, also musician types.
I got to take a break here, guys. I got to take a break. But when we come back, I'm going to let's talk about two of the other iconic fighters who, like Sugar Ray, brought the world to our corner. Okay? And then we're going to take another look at another clip and then end with the great Jack Jackson. But I got to take a break. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. All right? We'll be right back after these very important words.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Why are you paying for radio? Are you serious? GoPro Radio offers content for free. Go to www.goproradio.com and listen to original, irreverent, and exceptional talk shows. It's free. Go to www.goproradio.com now. It's that simple and free. www.goproradio.com. Listen to the voices in your head. Oh, and did I mention it's free? You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
All right, already? We're back in the last round of this event. Okay. All right. So we've seen and heard from our writer, our director, and our star, Sugar Ray Robinson, the story. Folks, we've had two other giants in the ring. Three, actually. Two other that we're going to talk about. One that we'll let you look at on the way out. Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali brought together our people like no other championship ring boxer, athlete. I mean, when you talk about what they mean to us and to our history and legacy, gentlemen, come on, talk to me. Tell me, give me a little 1 minute piece each about what your reflections are on. Okay, let's just start with Joe Louis. Talk to me, Lawrence. Joe Louis.
Well, I remember, listening to Joe Louis because my father would listen to Joe Louis. And then when we looked outside, we noticed that the people across the street were listening to the fight. And the people, next to them were listening to the fight. It was all up and down the street. We were in Brooklyn at the time. But I also understand it was, consistent with what was happening in all of the African-American metropolises. And everybody was clued in. And when Joe lost, for instance, that first fight to Max Schmeling, and everybody walked around a little stooped, a little bent over, a little maddening. And then when he regained it, he got his title.
Yes, that's right. I know, it was like one of those magic moments. That's right.
We began opening up because those are consistent with Jesse Owens winning the 4 gold medals.
That's right.
It was all happening around the same time. We were busting the hell out. Major League Baseball was only 8 years away from becoming, Jackie Robinson turned it around in 47 with Branch Rickey's assistant.
That's right. Woody.
And always with some white guy's assistant.
That's right. Woody King. Come on,
well,
Joe Louis.
What really turned me on is from listening to the fights with my parents and father and uncles and on the radio. When Joe Louis fight, they thought they ran to the radio. I mean, they didn't go to work that day. I mean, it was like festive. I mean, if he won, there was celebrations. And as I moved towards the arts, what I really was able to do was see Coley Wallace Joe Louis went through, even though later on I learned that some white guy had put this writing together and it was just an acting job. How theater, movies, and television images can change our lives, can move us. And so as I moved into the producing of that, I always look for that truth, that one word, those two words that tells us everything. And, I wish I had the bucks, but this is how Sugar Ray related to him. These people were friends. Him and Joe Louis were friends. Right. He and Muhammad Ali were friends. Right. Because artists, athletes of the same ability drift towards each other. The same as writers drift towards each other, actors, producers whose heads are in the same place. It don't take really much to say, oh, here's an actor I want to work with. That's right. Here's a writer I want to work with. And it doesn't take much for them, It's not rocket science as everybody believes. What happens is when you want to do a play, when you want to do a film, nothing can stop you from doing that film. That's right. When you want to do a radio talk show, nothing can stop you, Byron, from doing that. That's right. You're going to find a way, So
I got a caller on the phone line. I don't want to ostracize my audience because they're the ones who help to keep me on there. So, caller, welcome to the BCS Experience. Who are you? Introduce yourself. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, who's calling? Who are you?
This is Tommy Culler. I'm Facebook.
Tommy Culler, welcome.
I'm calling from Florida.
All right, Tommy.
But I'm really amazed and thankful that you guys put in the time and sweat over the years, and really, to be honest, I believe you helped to pave the way for so many other people that you might not even know that you paved the way for.
Thank you.
And one of the questions I do want to ask is, are you considering moving out of that local venue and possibly going into other areas like Atlanta or Orlando, Florida?
Mr. Producer?
If I could answer that,
go ahead.
There are theaters in Atlanta, and there's the Zora Neale Hurston Festival in Orlando, Florida, and we've done Lawrence's play Zora Neale at that festival. In Atlanta, there is True Colors Theater. There's Seven Stages. There's the Horizon. That's right. People in those cities have to demand that those theaters do these things. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We live in New York. You live in Atlanta. You calling from Atlanta or Florida?
No, I live in Florida, right?
Okay, you live in Florida. You got to say, okay, Miss Nadiri over at the Zora Neale Hurston Festival, I heard these people talk about Sugar Ray Robinson. You got to bring those people in. They do that festival every year. I don't know if you've been to it,
All right, Woody.
I went to one of them.
All right. Now, Woody, I got about 6 minutes left. I've got 4 minutes of tape I want to get in. So I'm gonna try and get so that you can have the last word on selling some tickets. So we all know about Muhammad Ali. I can't even bring his story in because that story is just too much to have on 1 hour show. But he was the other.
It's in the play.
It's in the play, I'm sure, and he's the other iconic figure that our community has surrounded and embraced as a hero. But I gotta let you look at that Rocky Graziano knockout. It's 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Come on, Mel, play that tape so we can let our folks get one more look at Sugar Ray Robinson.
Later. Right, champ. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back and get ready for round 3. Looking at The Rock and Al Silvani talking with him. Here we go. set Rocky up for maybe some of his big punches. Not an official knockdown. 2 minutes to go in round 3. We can notice that Graziano is setting the pace. It is he who is forcing all the way. And then again, Robinson is a good counterpuncher, fighting going away. Rocky lost his mouthpiece. He's hurt. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rocky's hurt. 6. Can he get up? 7. Can he get up? 8. Can he get up? 9. I don't know whether he made it. Wait a minute. I don't think he did.
All right, Woody, I got about 4 minutes left, maybe 3 and a half left. All right, Woody, sell some tickets. Where can you get tickets?
But you know Reggie can sell tickets too.
Come on, Reggie.
We're selling tickets through Smart Ticket.
Yes.
And the phone number is 212-868-4444. And the name is 212-868-4444. And they can also do them online at www.smarttick.com.
I hear there's a $100.
Smarttick.com.
Now you have an opening night event that's a $100 ticket. Where can you get that as well?
What's the same?
That you can call. This is the number you can call for the opening. It's really a gala.
A gala.
It's Lawrence Holder's birthday.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 646-261-5397.
Okay. All right.
646-261-5397. And Reggie has all this, and you know, he's a much better salesperson than I am.
Well, we let the producer talk his talk, and the fighter will do his thing. He'll fight in the ring. All right, guys. Listen, I got to thank you guys. Yes, sir.
Byron,
yes, sir.
Reggie will talk us all into this.
All right. All right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being on the show with me. Mr. Qualla, Tommy down there in Florida, thank you so much. Roll that tape on Jack Johnson and Joe Louis. But before you roll that tape, let me just get this in. We salute our African-American boxing legends and heroes. They entered the square ring always with an edge of danger to their own lives for the beatings given and taken. Sometimes they left the ring to never return again, but always they fought not just for themselves, but for an entire race of people and sometimes an entire nation to prove to the world that they were the best of the best. From Jack Johnson to Joe Louis to Sugar Ray Robinson to Muhammad Ali, each gave us African Americans a reason to cheer and be proud during those days when all darkness seemed like a hopeless dream to freedom. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you for your courage and dedication to our people. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Roll that tape.
After Jack Johnson, there is no way a black fighter is going to rise to the top of the heap. He can't become champion.
Because he needed the money, it was steady income. Black Bear took the job. He sat down, he told Joe Louis, listen, you're going to have to be twice as good as the white fighter that you're fighting in order to succeed.
Jack Johnson, America's first black heavyweight champion, inspired so much hatred in white America that in the 19 years since the end of his reign, no black fighter was given the opportunity to even challenge for the heavyweight crown.
I think Jack Johnson saw his job in life as pissing off white America.